So, Phasmophobia introduced a new sprint mechanic in one of the recent patches, and it's changed the way we play the game. So we get 3 seconds to sprint. After we've run for 3 seconds, we enter a recovery phase for 5 seconds. So, within those 5 seconds, we cannot run again. The problem is, I gotta go. If I'm being chased by a ghost, or I want to get out of the place really fast, I need to run. And if I keep pausing between all these runs, well, I'm screwed. So, how do we fix that? How do we get past that recovery phase? The way it works is that we are losing more stamina than we are recovering stamina. We can think of it as a function. You know what? Let's get some math in here. Boom. See? Pre-planned. The first red line right here shows us how we're losing stamina over time. Every second, we're losing about a third of our stamina, or 33%. There you go, 33%. If I run for 2 seconds, I lose 66%. And if I run for all 3, we're done for. We enter the recovery phase, and we have to wait for those 5 seconds. Now, the second model right here is how we recover stamina. So here, every second, we replenish about 20% of our stamina. 1 second here is 20%, right there. 2 seconds here is about 40%, 3 seconds is 60%, and you know how to count by 20s, I hope. If you look at the graph here, typically in algebra, our point of intersection is our sweet spot. However, our sweet spot is at 0, 0. It's basically telling us that our perfect balance is when we're not running at all, which is kind of dumb because we want to run. So we need to look at this graph or these lines a little differently. We need to look at the outputs that are the same but with opposite signs, or when our outputs are equally distant from 0. Let's say, for example, I run for 2 seconds. I lose about 66% of my stamina. If I look at my recovery line, I need to wait about 3.5 seconds to recover that same amount of stamina. What this means for us is that there are several combinations where we can kind of bypass the recovery phase. So one of my favorite combinations while I'm playing is 2, 3, 2 again, 3 again, 2 one more time, and then 4. So what's going on there is that I'm losing 66% of my stamina, but I'm gaining back 60%, so that's a net loss of 6%. Okay? I'm doing it again. I was running for 2 seconds, and then waiting for 3. So that's another net loss of about 6% of my stamina. I run for much longer, if I need to, or for 2 seconds again, and then I wait for 4 seconds to kind of replenish it just in case I'm counting too quickly or counting too slowly, and I replenish my stamina so I'm good to run one last cycle. It's hard to count while you're being hunted down, so I give myself that leeway to count that extra second with the 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 4. It should look like this. So again, my counting won't be precise. Let's say I'm being hunted. It's going to be 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and so on. Notice how I never hit the recovery phase there. Well, that's basically how our stamina works. But let's say, hey man, I'm just playing this game to have fun. I'm not here to count. Well, I have a solution just for you. It's so simple, even monkeys can do it. Let's go back to our graph. Notice the beginning of our graph, how close these lines are together. The math is telling us something that a true intellectual will understand. Luckily, that's me. And what that's telling us is mash. Let's do one example of us running normally, right? 1, 2, 3, and we get tired around here. And we gotta wait those 5 seconds. You can test this out yourselves. Mash like crazy. Look at that, we beat our old record. We're still going. And we stopped somewhere around here. So mashing gives you that extra distance. Remember that you're always losing more than you recover. You're losing about 33% every second, and you're only gaining back 20% every second. Which means that if you are mashing, you might want to mash a little slower, or take some pauses between your mashes, like this. Pause, I don't need to run anymore. Mash again. And then we go a little bit further this time. So it's not as precise as counting. And counting already isn't precise enough, but it gives you a little extra distance that you might need to quickly navigate throughout the house or escape. Every second counts. Anyway, there's one last thing I need to tell you about running, and it's that you cannot recover while you have your journal out. So check this out. Again, we only get 3 seconds to run, and we should recover. However, when you open your journal, you won't. So let's test it. 1, 2, journal. I should have 3 seconds if I'm just here looking at the journal. However, check this out. I immediately run out of breath. Let's try it one more time. I'll turn up the audio so you can hear it this time. 1, 2, journal. Run. And we're out of breath immediately. So, again, you cannot recover while your journal is out. So, we can count, we can mash, but do not open your journal. That's a no-no. So, I hope this guide was helpful, and see ya!